Terminating a parent's rights is probably one of the most complicated and difficult items to complete. A lot of times parents think just because, they're not a great dad or they're not a great mom, that that's the route that they can go. And unfortunately, it's not. There is a very, very high burden that you have to overcome in order to prove that a parent's right should be terminated. For example, that parent has to have abandoned the child, typically. And usually they look for at least 6 months. That's what the statute requires, but they usually want to see several years where there's been no contact made by that other parent. They haven't sent cards, gifts, letters. They haven't sent any money for financial support. They've tried to not make any sort of presence in that child's life. Then, the court's also going to consider, for example, if there's some form of criminal history and what that criminal history is, whether it's a sex crime, which involved children, things like that. They're going to take a lot more seriously than if somebody maybe just had, say, a drug possession a few years ago or something like that. In addition to that, too, they want to also see that that child's going to have or has a very stable living environment currently. And typically, they like to see that there is another parent that is willing to step in at that time to adopt the child. That is a big concern of theirs. And so a lot of times, I will get a single mom that comes and wants to terminate the dad's rights, but there's no other parent involved. And the judge has the right to say, no, we're not going to terminate that other parent's right because there's no other parent to step in if something were to ever happen to mom. So termination hearings are very, very difficult. There's a lot of steps involved in being able to prove that you have to get rid of that person in order to better that child's life. And the court takes that very seriously too.